Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Top of the Hill Sportstalk with Daniel Hill, episode 4. Thank everybody for liking and subscribing and commenting. Keep them coming. I love to hear you guys' feedback, and I look forward to responding to them all. Give me some stories to talk about. If you want to know my opinion about some stuff, let me know. I'll respond. First thing I want to talk about is how excited I am for the new NCAA football game that just announced their release in July 19th this year. I can't tell you how excited I am to play that game again. I played it so much when I was younger, and I know you guys are excited about it too. So, hopefully everyone else is as jacked as I am to take Georgia State and ECU and all these obscure teams, Toledo and all these teams to glory and turn them into to huge programs and win national championships with them. I don't even play as Oregon or Alabama and stuff like that. I go straight to the obscure colleges and I try to bring them to glory, and it's a lot of fun. So again, hopefully you guys are as excited as I am. Next thing I want to talk about is the death of the Pac-12. I know a lot of people are very sad about this, especially in my region up in the Pacific Northwest. It sucks, but it's also a great thing because as a Duck fan, and honestly a fan of Oregon State as well, this gives us an opportunity to play against the big boys. And it sucks for Oregon State and Washington State to be left out of it, but they will get their opportunity to go to a bigger conference and play against better teams. They are good programs, especially Oregon State. If I'm not watching the Ducks and they're not playing the Ducks, I root for the Beavers. I root for their baseball team, their women's basketball team this past year in the tournament. I root for their football team when they're not playing us. So, like I said, go Beavers. They're doing great. They will have their opportunity to shine in a big boy conference. But I'm just excited that we're going to be able to play Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. It's going to be great. We've been wanting to play those type of teams forever. It's going to only enhance our enjoyment of this sport. And for the longest time now, as a Duck fan, we've considered Ohio State a rival. I personally went to the Rose Bowl that we lost, but it was an amazing experience. It was great to see our boys playing against the big dogs of Ohio State, and now we're actually recruiting at the same level as them. Thank you, Dan Lanning. So it's gonna be great. I cannot wait for this season. So get ready for some really exciting football in the Big Ten. Next thing is the NFL draft. It's coming up, and you can see I'm wearing my Niner shirt. So go Niners! I hope that they do well in the draft. They've kind of faltered sometimes in the draft, especially with the whole Trey Lance fiasco. But I believe in our GM. I believe in our personnel. That I think they're going to do well in this year's draft. Especially there's only a few holes that we need to fill, and I believe that those holes are at cornerback, offensive line, and wide receiver. We need a lot of help in those three areas. We really do. Cornerback, we need a solid DB. We really do. A lot of projected mock drafts have been saying Kool-Aid McKinstry from Alabama, and that would be great. I think he's solid. I think he's a day one starter. I think that would be a really good boost for our squad. And it sounds like he's a really good dude, cool name, so I think he would fit in really good in the Bay Area. The next one, the cornerback that I'd like to get is Nate Wiggins. He might not fall that deep, because I hope that, to be honest, that we go cornerback, offensive lineman, cornerback, and then we can probably pick up some wide receivers later in the draft, because it's such a draft or a wide receiver heavy draft with a lot of good talent coming out. Offensive line, it's a wish, but I'm hoping for either Fotana from Washington or Fuaga from Oregon State, because those dudes are just badasses. Again, day one starters. I don't think they're going to drop out of the first round, though. I think both of those dudes are going to go in the first round. I think that in the first round, we're going to have a lot of wide receivers, offensive linemen, and wide receivers. It's going to be a lot of offense in the first round. I project it being over 50% for offensive players in the first round of the draft, which is kind of rare. Next thing is wide receiver. My boy from Oregon, Troy Franklin, it'd be great to see the Niners pick him up. He's a solid wide receiver. Maybe not a day one starter, but I think he can develop into an NFL star. I really do. At least a 2 or a 3 on a good team. The next guy I like is didn't see him a lot in college, but all his highlights, all his intangibles, and everything I've heard a lot of good things about is Keon Coleman out of Florida State. They were screwed out of going to the playoffs, I know, and he was a big reason why they even got into the conversation. He's a solid wide receiver, and I think that he could, again, be developed into a 2 or a 3 on a team. He actually, I think, might be a 1 eventually, but that's what we need for the 49ers to return to glory and return to that Super Bowl and hopefully beat Patrick Mahomes in it. That's kind of what I'm looking at is if I were to pick anyone to play in the Super Bowl again, it's going to be the Chiefs again because we got to get over that hump. And if anyone in the NFC can beat the Chiefs, I do believe it's my Niners. So, again, thank you everybody for listening. Next week, we'll see what we talk about. If you guys give me some topics, I will definitely respond to them, and I'll talk about them if you want me to. But hope everyone's having a great spring, and thank you for tuning in.